We got it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning's meditation. We are in for such a treat. So let's go ahead and dive in. Sometimes it's just I'm not even going to give us the cue up, the warm up, if you will. We get to just move into the delicious space, starting with our light link. Our theme today is going to be deep. It's going to be, we're going for covenant bond, is the overarching intention, but really it's the constructs that come in behind what makes it so we can truly merge with and become one. Covenant bond is about the oneness and the merging. And for those of you that are in the process right now, we're in Ruby Flame and in that creation zone of bringing spirit into form, merging spirit with matter, and how we use our body, right, to bond the light with matter. And the greatest way we do that is through our partnerships, right? Feeling our needs, feeling our desires, and then feeling the partnerships around us and how we use our voice. And so the biggest question that we can all ask of ourselves is, who do I need to become? So as we're in this month of January, really in between the calendar new year, heading into the Chinese New Year, and then ultimately into the celestial new year later in the year, in the spring. Who do we need to become as we move into this new age? And it's in asking that this bonding, this covenant bond, is going to take place and take hold at a cellular level. And the answer to that question comes through us answering our own question of what are our needs? What are our desires that we are feeling and seeking to fulfill within us? So that's our overarching theme. The covenant bond itself is that merging not only of it's the Vesica Pisces, right? And the dynamic tension. The one side of it is you and your desires and your needs, and the other is the tension you feel to arrive at it. So as you step into the matrix of your life, as you step into the challenges and the perceptions of your world and your reality, we get to ask the questions of what needs do you have that need to be met, and who is holding the line, who is holding the boundaries, which obviously it gets to be you first and foremost, to ensuring that they get met, and what is that inner dialogue with it. So it's in meeting that dialogue that we're able to ensure that that light meets matter within yourselves, meets matter within your reality, and then the ripple effect begins to then filter out to the entire world around you, because you're epic. You guys are epic. So with that, enough talking. Let's jump in, starting with light link. Nice big inhale, nice big exhale. Another nice big inhale and nice big exhale. So I really want to just bring it back to basics, keeping it really simple. Who do you need to become as we head into this next chapter? What are the big goals? What is it that spirit is tapping you on the shoulder for as you hold all of this in your field, in your container, in your kingdom, however you're seeing, sensing, connecting into it? And as you do this, sensing, feeling, allowing yourself, as you feel that sunlight in our light link connecting to your body, letting yourself feel that sense of warmth radiating over the top of your mind, radiating over your cheeks and your shoulders. Notice its warmth, and then send your inner vision up to imagine staring straight at the sun. And we're going to take a moment here to let yourself feel seen by the sun as you see the sun. And take a moment to feel heard. What does that mean to feel heard? Nice inhale and exhale. There it is. Did you hear your breath? Do it again. Capture that sense of the sun witnessing you in your breath, in the sound of your breath. And witness the sun's response to you. And maybe the way the sun responds as you feel the trees around you breathing in your exhale. For all of us are beings of light, right? We've all just been drinking in sunshine. And maybe this breath and interchange of oxygen is the sun's response. To our soul asking to be heard at a light capacity. So the next one I want to move to is being understood. This one's a little more complex. Being understood. Feeling seen, feeling heard, feeling understood. Do we understand the sun? Does it understand us? I think on the surface, pretty simply, yes. And if we sit in silence for a moment, I think we'll find it. What comes through for me is seeing the sun inside my cells, a microcosm of the sun. So here we have like our basic human needs at all levels. And as we stand here in our light link today, using the earth, our body, and this reflection between the sun and our body as the expression of earth. We could do the light link with the earth, feeling the earth beneath our feet and feeling how the earth is seen. Let's go ahead and do it. Toes, maybe sand. Now hearing the sounds of the earth. And then understanding. How do we come into understanding the earth and then feeling understood by the earth? So just take note in all things. There's no right or wrong answers for any of this. As you tap into hearing the earth, maybe you hear the sound of waves in your imagination. Maybe you hear wind in the trees or kids laughing in the distance. Maybe you hear music. Maybe when you looked at the sun, you heard music in the distance. There's no right or wrong for any of this. Maybe the understanding is sound of heartbeat. What matters is you're pausing and allowing the silence of the mind or the noise of the mind to filter out until you find that. And if you're listening to this in recording and the mind was really cranking, I invite you just to continue with this part of the exercise and listen to your own breath until the mind is quiet. And what's beautiful is that in this moment, right here, in this moment, we've all just experienced covenant bond. That's it. Covenant bond is nothing more than a witnessing. It is a witnessing that allows for the expansion of the expression, a furthering of understanding and comprehension, and evolution. When we are seen, when we are heard, we are being witnessed and our understanding of who we are evolves. We could take it to the Bible and say when Adam and Eve in the story of the apple, and what it's really about is Eve witnessing Adam becoming man, descending out of being a light body into the flesh, into the evolution. And what is so brilliant about that is that it is a pinning, if you will. It is a consciousness. Once that witnessing happens, it is the consciousness locking in. So here's what happens for us and why today we get to talk about it at a different level and why it's so critical as stewards and as we shepherd in a new era and are stewards of light. We're beyond stewards of light. Like we are here to birth new paradigm and new dimensions. And it comes through us, but it's in a true dimensional sense must come through our cells. It must come through our bodies. And if our bodies and our minds are not in full coherence, then we will be pinning those parts of ourself at the lower frequency than where the light is fully at and expressed. So the silence in allowing, it's like we will only be able, if we are moving light through us, we, of course, want to bring it through at its highest expression and capacity, but that light will only be able to express as high as our lowest common denominator. So how can who do we, coming back to our original question, get to become? Who do we have to become? Who do we get to play with? What are the mindset and the beliefs and the capacity that we get to embrace and hold within our vessel to allow that light to express itself at its highest common denominator? In other words, how do we get out of our own way to do the work that we came here to do? Because it's no chance that you're finding yourself here in this moment in time. It is providence. It is destiny. You've planned this. You've planned for this light to come through your body as this vessel to create these bonds within your cells to establish a foundation. And so these are the boundaries, if you will, that we get to hold. And it's so simple. It comes down to our most basic fundamental needs and recognizing them. Because as humans, we are social beings. And the way we record and move light is through our relationships and how we relate to others. So we get to ask ourselves as we consider, who do I have to become? We get to ask, how am I relating to those around me? Where are my needs being met? Where am I being heard? Where am I being understood? And in the areas where I am not being met, where am I not being seen, where I'm not being heard, where I'm not being understood, am I allowing myself to drop? And it's okay if we are, as long as we are not compromising the way in which we carry our light. And as long as we are allowing ourselves in our highest expression to be witnessed somewhere else in that light expression. We don't, and why is that so? Because we don't need everyone to agree with us. You don't need your partners and your spouse and your kids to agree with you in everything. That's not what they're here for. You just need them to witness you. And as they witness you, to not take it in to your own sense of being and record that expression of yourself as not good enough, or as being shamed, or as being judged. But truly, it's in each of us to find the capacity to express ourselves, to be heard, to be seen, and to understand ourselves, and not turn inward and judge, and to be okay with the naysayers and the voices that may rise up, and to know that we are good enough. To let ourselves be witnessed by those around us, and to know that the only witness that matters is the light, is God, is the divine mother. And it's not saying we don't take criticism in and feedback in. It's just saying we hold that light as precious, as sacred. And we find our path forward without knocking our inner selves down. So for our meditation today, as you continue with your breath, what I want you to do now is just scan your world, your environment, and feel all of the relationships. Feel all those that you care most deeply about. And where in your body do you feel yourself when you feel that full light of the sun inside of you? You feel that full bond. And where in your body do you feel yourself drop? Coming out of the light, that full light expression. Where do you feel yourself dropping down? And it's okay. We just get to ask, who do we need to become to hold ourselves in a full light expression in those relationships? What little tweaks, what little shifts can we make? And we're not going to have these answers right here in this moment exactly. Do we need to express our needs differently? Do we not feel seen? Do we not feel heard? Maybe we feel totally seen and heard, and we're just bored with it. Maybe we're just trying to survive. Or maybe we're waiting on a timeline. What I want you to do now is where you felt yourself drop in your body, because I felt everybody do it. I want you to envision a beautiful cord or bubble of light rising from the earth beneath you, like a float, filling you up as though there's like the waters, the tide is rising from below, lifting you up, back up to the light. And we don't have to know how or why, just that it's happening. And in that process, if there are chains that are holding you down, if there feels like weights, if it feels like there's you need to sprout wings to get higher, if it feels like you need to open a bunker, let yourself do that. A couple of you just popped into some interesting places and dimensions. Like it's only safe here. We run safety and security, old templates, parental templates. It doesn't matter where they're coming from. But what does matter as we seek to bring the new paradigm in, these new layers of light, what does matter is that who we need to become gets to shed the old skin like an exoskeleton. So I guess that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to invite everyone to do it. Just imagine yourself like it's not even a snake shedding its skin. We'll go with that though. It feels more like a bug crawling out of its exoskeleton. Really gross, but it's not. It feels like armor, like we're crawling out of a suit of armor. A couple different weird analogies there. So it's probably because it's different for all of us. Shedding our armor to be able to allow our skin to breathe, because we no longer need to be in covenant bond with the density, with the storyline that it has to be hard, that we have to be, that we have to suffer, that we have to overexert ourselves, that there has to be trauma, that we have to throw bombs to be successful with it. I'm just kind of riffing here. We all have a lot of different things. So just imagining yourself crawling out of the earth, out of this exoskeleton. It's like a habit field that is no longer serving. And as you do, I want you to stand next to it and allow it to remain in the earth. Take this time to say goodbye to that version of you. Nice deep breaths in and exhales out. As you stand here and we envision the sun shining on this earth that old version of you is living in, let it be honored. Let the light fill it as it dissolves back into the earth. And with it, only you know what it is taking away. As you now gaze again at the light and feel yourself locking in to this new frequency, this new energy. And we come back to our breath. Witnessing the death of the old timeline. Witnessing the emergence of you in a new timeline. And so, what needs and desires and boundaries have dissolved as you stand here in the sun and allow yourself now to like drift away from that density, right? It's like we're popping up into the ether, away from this scene, becoming lighter and lighter and more rainbow-esque, being witnessed by the other light beings, by the angels, by the guides, by the trees, by the sun, by the earth. Claiming in this room, in this moment, in this body, in this flesh, as you call this version of yourself into yourselves, landing fully, landing completely, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself be heard, letting yourself be understood in your cells. Call yourself home. Go ahead and envision coming all the way into your body. As you envision yourself in your body, see a shimmer of light rippling across your skin or just under your skin, across your left arm and your right arm, under your heart, through your hips, down your spine, behind your mind's eye. Feeling your eyes illuminate from behind. Taking a nice deep breath in and an even bigger exhale out as you are witnessed today. Breathing in, exhaling out. Breathing in, exhaling out. Hearing your breath, witnessing yourself coming into the flesh, feeling all of that light coming to life. And welcome back. May it be a beautiful day. Namaste.